Welcome back. A new report by the state looks into how taxpayers are impacted by the public-private partnership at the University of Iowa. And joining us now, State Auditor Rob Sand. You released this report today. First, just explain to people, what are we talking about here? People throw around the term P3.
Right.
What does it mean?
Fundamentally, we have a long-term lease that we gave to a private company on the utility plant. It's a steam plant at the University of Iowa. And so they're going to operate it for 50 years. They gave $1.1 billion to the university up front. And in exchange, the university, aka the state, has got to pay back $2.5 billion over the next 50 years.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. It's the biggest financial transaction in state history. And the thing that bugs me about that is no vote.
Right. So explain that to people. How does this even happen?
There's a statute in Iowa written a long time ago that lets the Board of Regents and the Regents institutions like the University of Iowa handle leases without approval from the state legislature. But I'm sure when they were writing that, they were imagining leasing real estate. Sure. They were imagining leasing vehicles. They probably weren't imagining a 50-year deal that was going to be the biggest transaction in state history. And I think there's a fundamental question here outside of whether or not this 50 years down the road pans out, which, you know, I'd be 90 by the time we'll have an answer to that question. But I think that fundamental question is this the kind of deal that should happen without a vote from people who are actually accountable to the public on these kinds of things?
Well, and to that end, you had concerns about this from the very beginning because this dates back to about 2018. Is that when this started rolling? And you requested these documents that you got recently and were told, no, you can't have those.
Yeah, which is a separate issue in itself. We, the State Auditor's Office, actually had to take the University of Iowa to the Iowa Supreme Court and beat them there with a unanimous decision to get documents related to a transaction that fundamentally is the public's business, right? So that was troublesome. But I think it's also a good marker out there for anyone else that works on behalf of the taxpayers of Iowa that if we ask you for something and you don't want to give it to us, maybe you should rethink that because ultimately we will get it from you after you get embarrassed publicly for trying to withhold it.
And you said to me before we started this interview on air, there wasn't anything nefarious in the documents that you received.
Right. Yeah, what we were looking at was we had real concerns about conflicts of interest because they had said that there were some Iowa-based investors in the deal sitting on the opposite side of the University of Iowa. And we had real questions about who they were and whether or not there were any conflicts there. It turns out they were very big institutional investors. It wasn't something to be alarmed about. But of course, the transaction itself, the deal itself, it being such a big one was something we were always going to be scrutinizing anyways. So.
Right. So part of this is about transparency, but to your point too about saying in 50 years I'm going to be 90 years old, this is about who's here after us.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other piece that really bugs me on that is we have seen the state's appropriations to universities, UNI, Iowa, State and Iowa, drop for decades. And tuition is going up and up and up. And now here we are in a situation where the state just substantially cut taxes, saying that all of this has been handled, and at the same time put a $2.5 billion obligation on the back of taxpayers. Now, if this deal works out, then it's going to pay for itself, okay, to be clear. But if it doesn't, then wouldn't we be better off taking a more responsible course now to reduce the risk that my kids and your kids end up having to pay this thing off in 50 years?
Do you think, too, it begs the question, should there be some stopgap measures in place when we're talking about this much money?
Yeah, and that's, I think, the question that the Iowa legislature should address here. Certainly, I think it makes sense that the University of Iowa or that the Board of Regents, if they're going to lease some office space, they can handle that.
Right.
But something that's $2.5 billion, I think, is a different level, and that should be, I think, running through the legislature the way they would run through anything else that's going to be involving spending that much money.
All right. State Auditor Rob Sand, thank you for being with us. We appreciate your watchdog work.
Thanks.
All right, Janae, we'll send it back to you.